Hey guys, Tim here. It's 2022, and amazingly, the Bastard anime is returning this year, apparently. Um, so that's incredibly surprising because the last time it got an anime, which was an OVA, was in 1991, I believe. And it is this, and it was canceled before the final two episodes was made. So that's a running trend with Bastard. It's an amazing series, one of the best-selling manga of all time. I believe over 100 million volumes sold, which is definitely very impressive for a series that really hasn't had any updates in so long. But a running trend with it is the manga is unfinished. The author hasn't done any new chapters in over 10 years now. And the Ode anime project that it had was canceled before it finished, and as well as the MMO that they was making years ago that just suddenly went silent and nothing ever came of it. So yeah, Bastard is a series that is loved by a lot of people because it's really good. Um, Especially in Japan, I don't really think it's that popular out here. Otherwise, the manga wouldn't have got canceled in America, the anime wouldn't have got canceled in Japan, the MMO in Japan wouldn't have got canceled. So maybe it's not as popular as I think it is. But anyway, the manga sells incredibly well, and it's really surprising to see that the anime is coming back. Unfortunately, it's going to be Netflix, which I definitely have some problems and concerns with because Netflix has diversity quotas and just is incredibly woke in a lot of ways. Though they have been changing a little bit with allowing Dave Chappelle to still stay on there, so maybe things are changing. Another thing that gives me a little bit of hope is I believe it's Netflix Japan, and Japan is an incredibly stubborn country that does not like change, and they don't like people trying to make them change. They are incredibly stubborn and set in their ways. So that gives me some hope that maybe it'll be a true adaptation. Because the Ode anime, even though it was made in Japan, is not a true adaptation. It cuts a lot of stuff out from the manga. So if the new Netflix anime actually follows the manga, at least through the beginning parts, and not really sure how long it's going to go, I'll talk about that in a bit, but if it adapts one for one, Bastard, the woke leftists here in America are going to be incredibly on Twitter typing away. So yeah, that's going to be funny to watch if they do a true adaptation because it's a very gory series. People freaked out about Demon Slayer with that first episode. Well, Bastard, I won't say it's quite that bad in the sexual aspect, but it is an incredibly sexual series. There's a lot of sex in the series, a lot of nudity in the series. Um, this is the latest volume, and basically he beats Porno Diano by fingering her butthole and making her climax and stuff like that. So, yeah, it's a very strange series compared to other shonen series. Oh, it was gonna fall. So it's gonna be interesting to see how Netflix handles this. Even though it is Japan, I'm pretty sure they're gonna still cut a lot of stuff out because, like I said, the gore is. It's incredibly graphic in the series. It really should have been a seinen series. I can't believe this series ran originally in Weekly Shonen Jump, but I guess back in the 80s it was a little more graphic, especially whenever you have JoJo's Bizarre Adventure and the dog coming out on fire and stuff. It was pretty gory back then. It's still kind of gory sometimes here in modern day, but back then I believe they was a little more lax with things. So yeah, that definitely concerns me. Another concern of mine is finally, the creator, like I originally filmed this video a couple days ago, and the creator, Kazushi Hagiwara, I follow him on Twitter, and he hadn't even posted about the anime yet, but he has now, and he posted a link to the Bastard anime website, and I was on it reading, and one of the things that concerns me is the director, which I believe the director is the director from Goblin Slayer, so that gives me a little bit of hope, but what he says right here in one of his comments is a little concerning. Our society is so diverse nowadays and we have more freedom than ever before, yet we tend to lose connection with someone important. Now, that one buzzword does concern me, especially since this is coming from Netflix, the diverse part, so I really hope they don't try to censor a lot of Bastard and they actually do a true adaptation. Another thing is, don't really know how the anime is going to continue because like I said, with the original anime, it cuts out a whole lot of stuff in order to get it compact. That is going to compact the arc basically down to where it would fit in, what was it, 8 episodes. They only made the first 6 episodes, I believe, and the final 2 episodes never got made, so they was going to compact it. Of course, we're going on my memory from Bastard. I haven't read the series in probably about 10 years. 2010 to 2012, I believe, was whenever the last time I read the manga was, and 2012 is when this volume came out, so yeah, I haven't read the series in a very long time, but I don't remember exactly the early arcs too well, and how much they was adapting in that, because I hadn't watched that anime in a long time as well. So, if they was going to go up to all the content that's out right now, which is volume 27, they could cut out some things here and there and speed it up a bit, and they could probably fit it down into 3 26 episode seasons, and that would adapt everything that's out right now. Now, they're probably not going to do that. With it being Netflix, it's probably going to be, they'll probably test the waters, maybe a 13 episode run. So I don't know how much they're actually going to be able to fit in that amount. Like I said, I don't remember the early arcs too well, but I don't think they're going to, like, it's no way it's going to have a satisfying ending, because the manga hasn't had a satisfying ending. So even if they did adapt everything that's out right now, which I believe is incredibly unlikely, it's just gonna stop and be very unsatisfying. Now, they might adapt, I really doubt they're gonna do this, but they could go into the Ninja Master Gaara spin-off novel, but again, they're probably not gonna do that. So, it's really gonna be interesting to see just how much they censor for the manga, how much they censor the anime compared to the manga, and what they're gonna dial back on, because I'm pretty sure that's going to happen, unfortunately, and that's going to upset me quite a bit. Again, it's Netflix, and Netflix ways is, yeah, very questionable, but you know what? I'm just going to take it, because I do like the visual of the anime. Like, they put up some character designs, and I like them quite a bit. I'm not like Dark Schneider and Gaara and Archisne all look really well. Yoko looks a little strange, because the original, like, way early, like, in the 80s, whenever the manga first started, the characters look way different than what they do now. Like, his modern interpretations of drawing the characters is very, very different, because his style has changed so much over that time. So, Yoko, like, her design for the anime really isn't too much like his old style, and it's not too much like his new style. It's really strange. I can't really put my finger on it, but she just looks a bit off to me. Again, this is just one character, like model sheet or whatever, with like just one view of her, so maybe it'll look better in the long run, but yeah. Again, I guess it kind of looks like a modern take on her old design instead of a take on her new design, the way Hagiwara draws her now. So again, I do have hopes for the anime. Like, visually it looks really good, outside of the little Yoko part, and Dark Schneider again looks amazing. Gaara looks really well, and Archisne looks really well. All three of them look really well. Yoko concerns me a little bit, but again, this is just one design, so maybe it'll look better in the anime whenever we get to see that. But yeah, give me your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think this series is going to be a true adaptation? I definitely doubt that it's going to be a one-for-one adaptation, but are you excited for it? I'm kind of excited for it. I do not have a Netflix. I don't support Netflix, but my brother has a Netflix, so I might just grab his and watch it on his, because I'm not going to support Netflix. I'm not crazy. If I don't end up watching it on Netflix, I'll just find some way to pirate it and just watch it that way. But yeah, it is exciting, because maybe this will inspire the creator to actually get back to work on the series, because the last bit of Bastard content that we got was a doujinshi that he did for the characters, and he showed that at one of the comic-cons that I wasn't at. I believe it was in 2018, maybe the winter of that year, which is one of the ones that I did not go to. I went to the summer one in 2018 and 2019. Basically, he was at comic-con one of the times that I wasn't there, so unfortunately I couldn't get it, like, buy it from him. But that would have been really cool to actually meet him and buy the doujinshi from him. So that's the last content that we've really gotten. I believe Shueisha, maybe around that time, maybe a bit before, actually re-released the Bastard manga with, like, new covers that he drew and his newer style. and basically it was like an omnibus form. They fit all the series down, all the like 27 or so volumes down onto basically almost like 2-in-1s. And he redrew covers for all of those, and that's some of the newest content. And we also got a Dark Snyder statue, not a figure, a statue that was incredibly expensive not too long ago, I believe. And those are really the only Bastard things that I can remember off the top of my head that we've gotten since 2012 with this. So whenever those new manga releases was coming out, a bunch of us got really excited because we was thinking, well, maybe with him re-releasing the manga, maybe he's gonna like release some new chapters and we're gonna get some new content, but that never happened. But hopefully with the anime coming out, maybe we'll get the manga to continue. Like, it's in the final arc and it's not ended, and it's been over 10 years since we got a new chapter, so I'd really love to see him end it. It's just, he's one of those like Togashi Sensei with Hunter x Hunter. It's just, you don't know if it's ever gonna end. Like, amazing series tend to never end, and he's getting older, so it may end up being like a situation with Berserk and High School of the Dead, where the writer or creator just ends up dying before he finishes it, and that will be really unfortunate for a series that is really good. But anyway, closing thoughts, it's gonna be interesting, because if they do a one-for-one adaptation, like, people here in the West are gonna go crazy, because Bastard is not a popular series here, and if they get to see something that graphic and that crazy, it's going to be really insane, because Dark Snyder is such, like, he stood out so much back then as a main character. He's basically Deadpool, for like Japanese Deadpool from back then. He was always breaking the fourth wall and saying things like, I wouldn't die because I'm the main character and stuff like that. Ripped out his own heart, killed himself, and just made jokes about it. It's just really interesting to see a character like that from back then. It's more commonplace now, but back then, that's just, he stood out totally different. And unfortunately, it never caught on here. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how they do the adaptation. Hopefully it's well. I'm really hoping it's well, for a series that I really enjoy. I'd like to go back and reread the series, but I'm probably just going to wait until I get a bit better at Japanese and just import all the volumes that I'm missing in Japanese and reread it from the beginning. Because like I said, this is the final volume released in English, which was volume 19, and that one ends on a cliffhanger, and volume 27 is the latest one that we've gotten in Japan, so that's a cliffhanger as well. Hopefully the creator gets off his ass and gets motivated to create some more Bastard content with the anime coming back. But you know what? Let's just take what we can get and enjoy it. So I'll see you in the next video. Later.